Hey, this is Brian here again with Automotive Training Group, and today I want to talk about switch ratio testing the catalytic converter. Now, switch ratio testing is the logic that most manufacturers use in early OBD2. That's the typical where we're comparing the oscillations of the front sensor to the oscillations of the rear sensor. Theory being the front sensor should move a lot, the rear sensor should hardly move at all. One of the reasons why we discontinued this method at the manufacturer level is it led to a lot of false 420 codes due to bad O2 sensors. So the first thing I want to do before I test my cat is make sure my O2 sensors are working. So on the screen here, I have my left O2 sensor on the, my front O2 sensor on the left, my rear O2 sensor on the right, and I have my scale. In this case, 460 millivolts to 635, 630 to 665. This is going to auto range, so as I sweep it rich and lean, they should both go up and they should both go down. So in order to do that, I'm going to use a couple of tools. One is a vacuum leak, and the other is propane. And the question we have is, can I make everybody see rich over 800 millivolts, and can I make everybody see lean under 175 millivolts? If I can't do that, my sensors are bad. Keep in mind, I'm going to feed the propane in through the intake, means my front sensor is going to see it first, my rear sensor is going to see it second, the catalytic converter is in the middle. If the cat's good, I might see some delay there. So, let's come over here. I'm going to start by adding a little bit of propane in. And I don't want to add it too fast because I don't want to stall the engine. So I'm going to hold the button down and I'm going to release some propane. And as I release the propane, we can see it's running a little rough. I want to see what my O2 sensors do. And boy, I'm not getting much action here. Now I just heard the engine speed up when I stopped using the propane. Moved a little bit, so let's go the other way. Let's go lean and see what the sensors do. Oh, that might be why I didn't get to much of a change. This engine was already running rich. You can see how it really likes when I pop the vacuum leak, but even being lean, I'm only down to 400 millivolts. I need to get under 175. So let me make a bigger vacuum leak. I can hear the engine change. It's sped up a little bit more. My rear sensor is still only sitting right around 400 millivolts, but the critical thing is look at my front sensor. It hasn't changed. It's working the same way. So now let me put the cams back on. I only got down to 385. Put some stuff back in. Now we should be running really rich. And let's see what my sensor does. Okay, so my rear sensor finally got up to 700 millivolts, delayed due to the converter, but the front sensor is dead. So the 420 code that I had in this vehicle, I can see the cat's working, it has some oxygen storage capacity, the front sensor's dead, and I can't get the rear sensor to range. Part of that might be due to a fuel control fault. We can hear how when I create a large vacuum leak, in this case disconnecting the PCV hose, the engine actually runs a lot better. So my recommendation is, let's get a new front sensor on this thing and rerun this test. Once I get the new sensor on it, I can rerun the test, then I can really properly use the front sensor to evaluate the rear sensor. If the rear sensor ranges properly, we can go ahead and test the cat. If not, we're going to need to get a rear sensor on this thing before I can give a definitive answer on how good this cat's doing. No wonder why a computer can't make a good answer, because the sensors the computer's using to try to figure out if this cat's working are flawed. So therefore, any data it makes from those, it's going to set a code. The unique thing here is even though I'm on a run engine on this stand, I had a 420 code with no O2 sensor codes. So don't assume that just because you don't have codes, the O2 sensors are good. We can see right here, I got probably 2 junk sensors. I know I definitely got the front one that's no good. We can prove that. The rear sensor went low, lean, front sensor didn't change. Rear sensor went high, rich, front sensor didn't change. They're in line with each other. How can the guy in front not see anything happening and the guy in the back sees it? The front guy is obviously not looking. So we're going to get him replaced and rerun this test.